Baby. All right, guys. So today is all about getting results, or for some of us, the lack thereof. So why aren't we getting the results that we absolutely want to get? I hope that you guys are doing well, accomplishing some goals and making adjustments. So again, if you are just joining me, go ahead and hit the share button. All right, so here we go. A lot of times when we talk about reaching a goal, sometimes we just say what it is, right? So we say, and I always like to use the example that is really common among unisex, male and females. We say we want to lose weight, right? And so we say it, and then we might do one very small thing, and we never do that one small thing again. We never repeat the behavior. We never open that back up for me. We never repeat the behavior, and we never write it down. We don't have an accountability partner, and we don't get very clear and specific about, why we want to do what we want to do. So I'll be naming like 4 to 5 things today about why you aren't getting the results you want. And the first thing is you haven't mastered small decisions and actions. And that's an example of what I'm talking about. So when you've made a decision that you're going to lose weight, reach whatever goal that is. Some of us have different goals. Some of us want to start businesses. We're all been changing our lives right now. We're all having to make changes in our lives, especially financial decisions and things with our family. And so we have a goal, but we haven't mastered the small decisions and the actions that are necessary in order to reach those goals. So for example, I know I want to tone up, right? Well, I'm clearly not going to tone up sitting in the house and working all day. It's not going to happen. So I have to snap out of my zone, because I get in a real deep zone when I'm working, and it's hard to pull me out of it. Like, you could be sitting right next to me talking and I don't even hear you, because I'm that much into a zone. So we have to practice mastering small decisions and small actions. We know that progress is a combination or a culmination of compounded actions over and over again. So what you do over and over and over will produce a certain amount of results, right? And it also helps you decide whether or not what you're doing is actually working, if you're on the right track to actually reach your goal, right? So one of the reasons why you're not getting the results you want is because you haven't mastered small decisions and actions. What are you going to put in your mouth if you're trying to lose weight? If you're trying to start a business, what is the game plan? What is the business? Do you have the resources you need? So you have to make the decisions. And is this going to be an online business? Is this going to be a brick and mortar? Are you going to go in business by yourself or with a friend? And if you're just joining me, go ahead and hit the share button. Excuse my look. I'm outside. I'm at the track and trying to master my small decisions to tone up for 2020 after having all these babies, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, the reason why we're not reaching our goals and getting results, is because we haven't practiced. Hey, elder, we haven't practiced. So we want to get great at something, but we don't want to put in the work. I don't know anyone who became great overnight by doing something only one time. I don't know anyone. You could think of musicians. You could think of actresses and actors. You could think of even teachers and, regular laymen, people that, you would actually overlook as a professional in their lane, right? Or a person who's great, right? But they didn't become great overnight. They did this one thing over and over again, or they did several things over and over again. They practiced, okay? Because learning is a process of what? Repeat. And you'll hear me saying this, you have to do things over and over and over again. And I like to always think about musicians when I think about that. In order to perfect their craft, you have to practice. You have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then when you get tired, that's when persistence kicks in, and that's when you do it again, right? So persistence is the hard work that you do after you've already done the hard work, okay? So practice. Another thing that we don't do, the reason why we're not seeing results, is because we haven't measured our results. So for me, I say I want to tone up, right? So what is the measurement system that I'm using to tone up? If you say you want to lose weight, what does that look like for you? How are you going to measure whether or not you're losing weight? Are you going to count your inches? Are you counting the actual weight in terms of pounds? Are you looking at the weight, just looking at your face? Everybody keeps looking at me like, oh my God, you're getting smaller and smaller, like you're disappearing, right? That's not my intent, but that's kind of what's happening. I guess it's just a byproduct of me trying to actually tone up and build muscle. So you haven't practiced. You haven't measured your results. You have to come up with a measurement system. Anything that's important to you, you measure. You'll come up with a measurement system, whether it's your finances, in your career, in your family, whatever it is that's important to you, and you're trying to make progress in, and you're trying to master. You have to set up guidelines for measurements, right? And then the last thing, which is one of the most important things, and it kind of sums up this whole life, you haven't shifted your mindset, right? So here I am today getting like cabin fever. Even though I work from home, I think it's something about knowing that I can't go anywhere that's kind of driving me nuts. And then sometimes I actually go to like Starbucks or Panera Bread to work. Well, I haven't been able to do that, obviously, because we're on quarantine. You have to stay inside and use social distancing and all of that stuff, right? So I'm not trying to put myself at risk nor my family. So I've actually literally been in the house. And, you know, mentally, I was about to lose it again today. I was like, you know what? This is craziness. I'm sitting in this house and I'm about to crack up if I don't get out of here real soon. And I normally work out in the house as well. And I've always kind of worked out in the house. I've never been like a gym junkie. I really don't even care to go to the gym. But today I was like, I got to get out the house. I loaded everybody up, you know, like, babe, let's go. Please get that stroller, get the double stroller. I have to get out of this house. Carrington, go get dressed, look presentable. We have to go. And the reason why that is because I'm trying to shift my mindset in terms of my workout, in terms of my mental capacity and my mental fortitude, right? Because what got me here where I am today currently is not going to keep me in the next season of my life. So I have to constantly, and we have to constantly, you have to constantly, you know, push yourself beyond what your capacity is. You have to constantly stretch and grow. And in order to do that, you have to master your mindset. You have to understand what your weaknesses are, what makes you tick, what makes you stop, what gets you frustrated, and, you know, what pushes you beyond what you think is your capacity. Because even when you think you're at your capacity, there's always a little bit more to give. It's just the mental part that you have to increase. And so again, this live today was a good one, a quick one, just all talking about why you aren't getting the results you want. And again, to reiterate, you haven't mastered small decisions. You haven't become very specific about what it is you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, and how you're trying to do it. You have to master that. You haven't practiced. You're not putting in work. You think that because you wrote down your goal, it's just going to happen through osmosis. You think because you said you wanted to accomplish this, it's just going to happen. And let me tell you, it's not. You haven't measured your results. How do you even know if you're making progress or if you're falling behind? How do you know that if you haven't set up a measurement system? You have to get a measurement system in place, regardless of what the topic of conversation is, regardless of what the goal is, regardless of what it is, what results you're trying to get in what area of your life. If you want results, you have to set up a measurement system. And then lastly, the last and most important thing is you have to shift your mindset. If you're trying to get to a place that you've never been before, you're going to have to think beyond what you've ever thought before. You're going to have to think better than you've ever thought before. You're going to have to do things you've never done before, and that actually requires you to shift in your thinking. You're going to have to push yourself beyond what you think is your current capacity, because I promise you, there's always more. There's always a higher high. So I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. This was a quick one. I'm outside. It's a beautiful day here in Houston. I decided to get out the house. I'm at the track, me and the fam bam. And I'm kind of sweaty and exhausted. I'm trying to beat some personal records here out here. My husband's a runner, and Carrington runs track, so clearly I'm the only one that's not running. Even Chase runs fast. So I'm the only person in the house that doesn't run. So I'm out here trying to get my run in and tone up in the process. So I hope that you remain encouraged and full of faith. And I pray that you and your family are protected. And, you know, we're all making through this together. Just make sure you shift that mindset. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.